Hello everyone, welcome back to Maximal Studios. I am Shubham and today we'll be discussing how you can use Gen AI image gen tools to build like a pretty good portfolio of ad campaign creatives. So whenever you're trying to develop say ad images for ads, or maybe you're using traditional ways, so going to stock footage, then editing them and then converting them to creators, it is a very slow process. And then maybe you heard about AI and you try to use these new tools like Nano Banana from Google or ChatGPT's image gen. You see that the outputs are not that great. Probably you go to say Gemini and say that I want a product and I want this to be worn by some swimmer, and you'll see that it doesn't give like a good output. So it just takes like random hands. So I gave Google's Gemini Nano Banana Pro image model a prompt like make a Rolex watch in brown color, swimmer is wearing that and hand is coming out of water. I kind of wanted the watch to be shown in a setting where the swimmer is swimming, but I couldn't convey it properly. This is how most of the people use it, and if you notice, it's not a good result. So the first step to get like a better results is called base image. So if you notice here, there is a base image of a protein shake called raw. What you can do is you can dump it in your Google Gemini chat and then use whatever prompt you want, like add a backsplash with coffee beans or milky coffee, and it was able to give me like a pretty decent results, like with all the studio lighting as well. Then if you notice here, there is a mistake, or in the original branding it was called raw, but I told it put new logo of simple, and still it did not do the actual flavor change. We just asked it to change the flavor and it made it into coffee. So if you see, these tools can be very helpful if you are much more conscious about how you prompt them, and when you're using like a base image, it gives pretty good result. The second method which I would like to use is called reference images. So for example, I wanted to create like a packaging for an electrolyte brand which has zero sugar. So I really like the simplicity of Supply 6 branding and the minimalist look they have, and also like the layout how this Element brand has put for, and straight away tell you what is exactly there in their product. So I like these two electrolyte brands, so I just dumped both the images here and I asked it to create like the packaging inspired from these. It should be very simple, minimal, and use beige for background, and other primary colors are watermelon red and neon green. So right away from the first look, you can see the packaging is good, color is like the watermelon red is also nailed, but I don't really like the neon green here. So what I did was I changed the colors and I asked it to generate like two different ones. So this one looks pretty good with like black and neon, the other one as well with like yellow and white background, but if you see, the lighting is not that great. So for lighting, we'll see how you can improve it in the next half. Another brand which we liked was PR Sport, because they have pretty minimalist and instantly recognizable brand, but we wanted something more fun to do with it. So we asked it, can you add like a watermelon splash behind it, because it's related to their brand. If you see, it did a very good job, although the lighting I would argue that it's not great yet. So that's how you can do. Also, if you want to change the like PR Sport to simple, you can just ask it to name the brand or change the colors and it will do a good job with it. Now another way you can do, like this is the next method, is product placement at a particular bag. So for that we took same image, raw protein shake, and then we gave it like a gym's background. So I wanted it to place it in a gym, and I asked it, you give a studio quality professional lighting. So these keywords help it improve the lighting image, and it was able to place the particular product in the gym. So if you see, the bottle is placed properly, shadows are good, but I didn't like it. It's not that great. So I asked it to make like the lighting to be more dynamic. So it made it darker, little more crisp, and also added this water splash. But water doesn't look good, so I asked it to put like ice, but this bucket looks awkward. It's not oriented properly. So I told it remove the bucket and just keep the ice. So if you see, this is like a trial and error method. If you're doing this manually, this is of course like free. If you want to do it on your own, you can use all these prompts. We'll also give like a sample prompts used directly in your products, but doing this on your own is pretty tedious. Like for example, for this matcha as well, we had these two packages. Like we wanted this matcha packet to be put as a can here, so we just gave it the prompt and replaced the can with matcha, and it did a pretty good job. And after a few prompts, we also got the color right. We added like reflections, and this was like the final result we got. So this looks pretty decent, but if you see, it took like a long time for us to reach the desired result. So what if there was a way to actually automate this? Before that, I'd like to show like the perfect way you can do. we had this watch and the swimmer which we had discussed previously how we can do. So I gave it like a better stock image, and it still gave me this hand with the watch which I don't want it. I kept on trying to change the perspective, but it couldn't. Then I gave it like the perspective of top shot. Then Gemini was like smart enough to change it to the top shot. And then if you see here, the lighting is not that great. So what I did was I asked it to make it more dramatic and dynamic, and it was able to do that. Like it showed like a lights streak only on the watch, which enhances it. And just for the fun of it, I dumped this image into Grok Imagine and I made a video out of it. This video, you can prompt it even more as you like. I just gave it like the basic version. If you want, you can speed it up or use VO3 or something to get like a better result. So yeah, these are some of the methods which we use to improve these ad creatives, because normally people are not aware of all these methods, how they can improve it. Like we are working on a tool that will automate all this along with giving you creative control on what goes into it. So the workflow will be just upload the product images and just ask the tool where you want it in based on what inspiration, and we'll be able to give you like production quality ad creatives out of it, and it will be all controlled by you. So the next video will be discussing about this particular tool. So yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe or comment whatever you like. We'll be putting all the prompts in the description so you can use it right away with Gemini or ChatGPT. Thank you.